Welcome. My name is Michaela Holden, and this is Vasiliki. We are co-founders on this project called True North Collaborative. And Vasiliki, why don't you go ahead and take it away? I'll advance the screens as you just let me know when you want me to advance each slide.
Okay, cool. I'll say next. So hi, everyone. Welcome to today's information session. We thought we're so brand new. We're just starting out this project. Why not throw together this information session and really share about what we're doing, who we are, and then have an opportunity to connect with people that are interested to learn more and answer any of your questions, as well as any thoughts that you might have for what we are doing. So True North Collaborative is a think tank for local retail. Michaela is actually in the space right now, one half of the space. She's in the cafe in Uptown, and that's actually our brick and mortar where we're activating this concept and the work that we're doing.
Give me a minute here, Vasiliki.
All good.
Never fun when there's technical difficulties.
Yeah, no worries. So I can start off with introductions because that is the flow of the slide. So my name is Vasiliki Papanikolaopoulos. As Michaela mentioned, I'm the co-founder of True North Collaborative. We connected in 2021. Michaela had done the True North Collaborative before. She had done the markets and different experiments that she was running for this, which she can talk more about. And then when we connected in 2021, when I was running Kimaton, which is a creative studio that came out of the pandemic, and we work with small businesses, nonprofits, and local organizations to co-create products and experiences for the community. And so it's been a little bit more than a year now. We've worked with over 70 partners. And what Michaela and I connected on is the ability to create experiences and unique exchanges between consumers and local partners, whether it be a small business, whether it be a cottage food baker, all of those, we're looking to activate local retail in what we do now with True North Collaborative. Perfect. Hopefully it works this time around. Otherwise, we can do it by memory.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'll pass it on over to you now.
Sure. So my name is Michaela Holden. As Vasiliki said, we did a test run of this concept in 2019, put it on pause during the pandemic, and Vasiliki and I have joined forces to give it another go. And we are really excited to be launching this. My background is in experiential marketing and event design, and I've done a lot of pop-ups in my past and big passion of mine. And so I'm really excited to be doing that here in this True North space.
So like we mentioned,
go ahead, Vasiliki.
Sure. So like we mentioned, it's a think tank for local retail, which in other words, how we're doing so is by being an experiential pop-up concept that disrupts, it brings together non-traditional retail standards with social and environmental impact in mind. So we heavily believe in small business as a vehicle for economic and social justice. That's also one of the reasons it's important for us to be in Uptown. And on the complementary side, environmental impact is really important to us. So working with sustainable and local vendors, being close to zero waste in our operations, and bringing all of that forth in the partners that we work with as well. Next. So retail reimagined, that's what drives us. That's the philosophy. We're a social enterprise. We bring diverse small businesses and consumers together to not only grow and strengthen the local economy. And by local economy, what we mean is the local small businesses, the consumers, everyone exchanging to really promote the Main Street businesses that we have and all of those other service-oriented businesses that we have. And we are doing so by reimagining the role that brick and mortar shops can play in community building. And that's why we are a brick and mortar ourselves. Our vision is we envision a thriving local retail movement that promotes economic justice and a healthy, sustainable future. So we have the cafe in the studio, like we mentioned in Uptown. Michaela's in the cafe, and we hope to have it be a place where it fosters joy, growth, and connection while making it really easy and fun for people to make socially responsible purchases. And the two images on the left, one is one of the artworks from a local artist during the time of the uprisings. That's actually from our neighbor kitchen window. Yes, we find this kind of community engagement really inspirational to what we're trying to do next in our chapter on the block. And then the lower picture is the exterior facade of the studio.
And it's still under, well, in this picture, it's under construction. We are actually just about to pull all the brown paper down today. So if you happen to walk by, you'll be able to see the current pop-up that's there.
Great. So our mission is threefold. We look to serve as a community hub for forward-thinking collaborations in three areas: diverse, equitable, and inclusive capacity building with our partners, our small business partners; extraordinary brick and mortar experiential design, which we're both really passionate about; and the last but not least, the acceleration of the sustainable impact movement. So what are we buying? Why are we buying it? And making those connections between consumers and vendors. And the impact is there's four focus areas. So promoting the Twin Cities small business economy, connecting, like we mentioned, sharing resources on environmental best practices. So really acting as a resource and a connection between the small business network that we're building out to share those best practices and to create a space for community building and the exchange of learnings and ideas. Next. So our approach, we wanted to share what we're doing. This is the mix of our approach. So mainly events and pop-ups. So the events will be virtual, live, and hybrid experiences. So that's something that we've both done in our respective businesses in the pandemic, and we're looking to bring it into True North Collaborative as an expertise of offerings at the intersection of culture and commerce. So really partnering with arts and culture organizations and then curating that alongside commerce. Pop-ups, so our brick and mortar space is open for people to come and experiment with their own small businesses. And we're hoping to use this as a platform so that they can elevate their brand presence within the community and to try out different concepts, see what works, and hopefully we can then uplift them into their own space. So the third is retail merchandise and baked goods in the cafe. It's quite a space that has an opportunity to highlight local merchandise. And so that's what this is alluding to in the sense of retail products and baked goods that complement the cafe that will be operating via a small business resident. And then lastly, the small business program. So this goes back to the educational material, the types of networks that we're trying to build between small businesses and local experts. And so building out programming, the first iteration of this is office hours with experts, where we connect small business owners with experts in certain areas, ranging from retail merchandising to sustainable operations to marketing. All of that will be something that is accessible. Next. So why Uptown? We have a whole slide about this because it's really important why we're actually in this specific location. So Hennepin Avenue and Lake Street are two quite overfilled with diversity of consumers, of small businesses and residents. And so we see it as this tapestry of diverse small businesses that are in balance with these change that we've seen come and go over the time. And so in a way, it reminisces of a quintessential Main Street. Michaela and I were there this morning, actually, and what we noticed is that all four corners of the intersection are empty. And so it's a place that's seen quite a bit in the last few years, and we're really hoping to revitalize and showcase local offerings in this space that now has an opportunity to do more in. And then likewise, it's a place of historical significance. So we've seen a lot of inequalities play out here, and they've also been challenged, and people are stepping up to create change, which we are one of our main aims is to be a part of. And then to acknowledge that Uptown is Wapikuti, and that's of the Dakota people, that's where we are. So to start off, this is the studio space. So welcome virtually. It's a space for innovative Minnesota-made retail activations. So this is what used to be Francesca's. It's right across from Granada Theater. It's a 1,400 square foot retail storefront. It's designed, the way that we designed it is as a blank slate. So that's so that whoever our partners are can take it to whatever they envision it to be for their specific needs and vision. And so the kinds of uses for this space are seasonal and short-term pop-ups, trunk shows, product launches. Well, this is where we'll be hosting the classes and the small business forums, and then also arts partnerships. Michaela will talk about an exciting opportunity that's coming up in August.
And I would just add one thing in here, if I may, Vasiliki, that while we are intending to do some programming with classes and forums, we are also very eager to partner with folks who would potentially be interested in producing their own classes in this space. We think of this as a community space that we want to be open to anyone. So it's really anything and anyone are welcome, and we welcome any kind of inquiries regardless of whether or not your idea falls on this specific list or not.
Mm-hmm. And the cafe is the complement of the studio in the sense that this is all about culinary excellence and showcasing that within this space. So it's a multi-use cafe. As you'll see, there are 3 bar sections, and we have a small business resident that's been there for the last month or so that's really activating it with coffee and baked goods that are local, and showcasing and educating consumers, talking with them about the product, but also learning from consumers in the sense of what do they want, how can I grow my business, and how can I meet consumers where they are. So this is the sense in what we do. We conceptualize, design, and operationalize temporary projects for culinary businesses, including seasonal pop-ups, tastings, and then concept testing. So we're really open to experimentation and to see how this space might exemplify that for small businesses. And to note, this is actually in the main entrance of what is formerly known as Calhoun Square in 7 Points. Right when you walk in, this is the open air space that you encounter. So I briefly mentioned our current small business resident that's closing up at the end of the month, at the beginning of this month. So She Is Love is a fair trade e-commerce platform that was looking to grow into brick and mortar. So she started her business e-commerce in the pandemic and was having some trouble. How do I connect with consumers, learn what they want, talk about Twin Engine Coffee, which is the coffee that she supplies, and really have that exchange. So we partnered together to bring a brick and mortar space to life that exemplified the brand, and that gave the opportunity to have those kinds of interactions. The services that we provided included sustainable operations consulting. So how do you operate at a zero waste level? We advised on low cost design and build out operations. So really taking it from the blank slate to what you see. We advised on the business plan and financing review. So really curating that and bringing all those pieces together that a small business needs to succeed. And then lastly, market research and marketing strategy. So how can you elevate branding and really speak to the community and the way that you're portraying your story?
Okay, so I'll start by sharing a little bit more in depth about what the upcoming opportunities that we have. So as we mentioned, our studio is available for rental, events, classes, or pop-ups. We are open to considering both short-term rentals. So if you want to just come in for a short-term event, the minimum is 4 hours on an evening, or if you're interested in a Saturday or a weekend. We also have space in our calendar for longer residencies. So if you're interested in really kind of going all out for a whole month, that is absolutely an opportunity that we'd be happy to discuss. And the pricing structure on that is a little bit more flexible, or I should say, we have some opportunities to kind of work with you. If you see the rental pricing for the weekends, it's not that we would multiply that times 30 days. So there's some flexibility there. as Vasiliki just mentioned, we have space in the cafe for pop-up activations. There is room for a small business resident to operate the cafe, and then there's also space within the cafe for one-off activations, whether it be on a Saturday afternoon or a full weekend, or if you wanted to do multiple weekends in a row to really kind of test growing your brand, that's an opportunity as well. We also will have a couple of kind of bigger projects that we will be programming in the spaces throughout the next 6 months. The first of which is the Uptown Art Fair Group Showcase. So if you are an artist, if you know an artist who maybe the actual Uptown Art Fair was a little bit out of reach in terms of the cost of the booth, we are offering our space to 4 to 6 artists for a much lower fee. And we would love to get some really fantastic, more up and coming artists to give them a chance to showcase their work as well. And then we are also planning a holiday pop-up shop that will be a month long between the end of November and end of December for a more slightly more traditional retailing opportunity. So this is not a market where you would have a booth or a table. This is a place where there would be a single point of sale, and we'll get into that in a moment. But some of the benefits of working with us or kind of considering activating in our spaces is that there's very minimal investment and very low risk. You don't need to sign a long-term lease with us. Of course, it's short-term, and we've kind of already bundled together the utilities and the internet, and so it kind of comes as a whole package that's very easy for someone to just kind of walk in with a turnkey experience. We are building out, and the two of us already have, and we are also continuing to expand a network of high potential small business owners. So we really hope to foster a lot of networking opportunities among that group. What we have found so far in this space is that because of the foot traffic, there is a consistent opportunity to get a lot of consumer feedback in person. And Emily, our small business resident who has been here for the past month, has already gotten some regulars who've come back a few times. So that's been exciting to see. And then, of course, as Vasiliki's already described, we do offer some business development and experiential design support. We, of course, are not the be-all and end-all experts, so we also are happy to connect any of our partners to the kind of plethora of experts that we know in the field in terms of the startup ecosystem here in the Twin Cities. We do think that we are uniquely positioned to really support business growth. And we do kind of have specific expertise in designing a really solid customer experience and thinking about strategic visual merchandising. We have experience in advertising and marketing and can help develop a strategy for that if that's something that the small businesses that are coming to us need. We offer some PR planning and outreach strategizing as well. We always, for short-term events and one-day pop-ups, we will always have a team member on hand at those events. So there's consistent on-site support. We're also able to offer some staffing strategy if it feels really overwhelming to try to staff, an entire month-long pop-up by yourself. And again, we are happy to advise on finance and sales strategy and business plan development if that's needed, or direct you to the specific expert that you might need in your own business development journey. As we mentioned, our studio is available for renting. Here is a list of rates, and we'll be sending this deck out to all of you after this, so you don't have to try to remember all of this or take notes. But I just want to also point out that we do offer, or we hope to offer, scholarships and sliding scale opportunities. So if any of the numbers that you're seeing here feel inaccessible, please don't be afraid to reach out. We are super eager to work with a wide range of small businesses, and we want to do whatever we can to make it a win-win situation for everybody. We do have to pay our rent here, but we want to do what we can to make things work. Same thing here. There's also rental opportunities within the cafe, regardless of whether or not we have our resident, and we welcome any kind of ideas that anyone might have for what they might want to do in the space. And as I mentioned earlier, so we are going to be doing an activation for the Uptown Art Fair. And we hope to fill our spaces with artists who maybe ready to take the plunge with the actual Uptown Art Fair, but do want to give it a shot. And we're just a couple blocks down Fair Hap. And these are the hours here that we will be able to provide space. So it's slightly more condensed than I think the actual outdoor art fair goes until 8 p.m. each night, with the exception of Sunday. The building here closes at 6, and that's when we have to lock our doors for the evening. But we're really excited about this, and we welcome applications. Like I said, if you are an artist or if you know someone who's an artist, even if you're not necessarily a visual artist, but you create functional art, be it ceramic pottery, or I think we'd even be open to other people in the maker world, candles and what have you. So please feel free to apply. We'd love to see what we can do to give some artists a great opportunity here. And then, as we mentioned earlier, so just to give you a few more details on what we are envisioning for the holiday pop-up shop, the pictures that you see on the right are from our test run of this in 2019. And we really desire to create a space for creating joyful memories and kind of giving people who feel like their brand is ready to kind of take things one step further from doing maybe a craft market or a maker's market, and they're ready to kind of be in a more traditional retail situation, but maybe they don't have enough product to be in stores year round. This is a really great opportunity. So as I mentioned earlier, it's designed so that there's a single point of sale for all the merchandise. You don't have to be at the market every day. You don't have to staff a booth or a stall. We put together a collaborative staffing plan. We handle, everything that has to do with the point of sale. So shopping bags and tissue paper if that's needed for wrapping, handling the inventory and management and the ticket pricing and all of that sort of thing for your products. We do offer meet and greet opportunities for the vendors. We really want our vendors to have an opportunity to get to know shoppers, and we also do really kind of targeted signage in the space so that the people who are shopping in the space have an opportunity to learn about the vendors who are making the products. And our goal is to really kind of take what you get from a craft market or a farmer's market and make it easier for the vendors so that they don't have to be there and schlep all of their stuff and answer all sorts of questions and kind of take their stuff home at the end of the market, but still give the consumers the opportunity to really get to know who the makers are of these products and where they're made, and kind of we do that through signage, just kind of consistent with each vendor. We do weekly sales reporting and keep very close in touch with all of our vendors so that if we need to refresh inventory or whatnot, we make that happen. So there's a small participation fee for this project that covers all of the above benefits, and as well as a mini photo shoot of your products. And then the products are sold on a consignment basis. So it's lower than a typical wholesale rate, but we do try to make it affordable for everybody. And again, kind of a win-win situation. And we will be coming out with kind of more details on all the kind of nitty-gritties of that really soon. But if you are interested, please don't hesitate to indicate your interest here on our application form. Vasiliki, do you want to take this one?
Sure. And just to note that link, because you're not accessing the slides right now alongside us, is in the chat. So I've added that in there for people to submit the form if they're interested. So the True North Collaborative Residency is essentially an extended opportunity to create a space within True North Collaborative. So that's why we call it the small business resident, whether it be in the cafe or in the studio. This is where we work really hand in hand to create the vision that you're looking for. Perhaps it's for an earlier stage business or someone that's looking to open up a shop in a new neighborhood, and they are looking for that kind of expertise and guidance in partnership with our team. And so we work with you on the design and the marketing, as well as the operations and the development expertise to the endeavor. And this is how we worked with She Is Love and Emily in the cafe. And to note, one residency is offered per space at a time. So whether it be in the studio or in the cafe, we're looking to work with one small business resident at a time. Okay, perfect timing.
Sorry about that. My
Okay.
my computer is about to die, so I'm just getting myself plugged in here.
Okay, perfect. So I can keep going. So on that note, in the sense of the a la carte offerings, or what would be offered within the residency, and things that that are to note from each of our individual businesses and things that we bring to the collective. There's the marketing side of things, so social media, ticketing, the small business network, and that kind of expertise from a business development standpoint. And then from a more event planning perspective, there's the pop-up design consulting, visual merchandising, floral and styling, decor rentals, event planning in general, and then day of coordination. And then from our network, there's the kind of resources like photography and videography, sound, lighting, food and beverage, all of that, and cleaning, depending on the length of your residency or stay. So that's it from us. Thanks so much. And we look forward to being in touch with anyone that's interested. You can visit our website at www.truenorthcollaborative.com. You can send us an email at hello@truenorthcollaborative.com if you'd like to get in touch with our team. And yeah, we look forward to connecting and bringing activations into this space in the new project.